Visiting a Roma Gypsy village.
We just want to see their side of the story too.
Community, I suppose you could say, of Bran Castle.
This is for you for having us, thank you.
This is another tradition of the Roma people. They make their guests feel at home. They'll get kicked out of the village.
No, no. Oh my god. Wow!
I do not know what is going on now. Good morning guys from Transylvania, Romania. Today we are doing something that is completely different to anything we have ever done on any of our travels. It's something that before we came to Romania, like, we got to try and do this. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this, but somehow we are doing it, and that is visiting a Roma Gypsy village and actually visiting one of their houses, which is incredible. I can't believe we're doing this. I'm slightly nervous. They are portrayed in a completely negative light, which I don't think is fair, which is why we're going to go in there completely open-minded and see what this whole experience has to offer. But like a bit of background on the Roma community before we go, they actually came from India around 1,500 years ago, and like I say, negative light, it's always negative press about them. There's never a positive light. They're actually enslaved in a lot of Europe when they first came across, and Romania was the country we wanted to visit, one of these communities, because around 12% of Romania's population is actually of the Roma people, which is pretty high. That is high. That's over 10% of their population is the Roma people, and it's never integrated, if you know what I mean. If they live near a city, their traditions are completely different to me and probably you who's watching this is tradition, so it's hard for people to accept. So that, like I say, there's two sides to every story. People talk about petty crime, things like this, but they're always not given the rights that every person deserves. So if they're given the rights and they're given the opportunities that we're given, we can live together a lot easier, if you know what I mean. But we're going there, we're going to show it in a completely different light. I'm really excited. They have a lot of amazing traditions, a lot of trades, like the work and the trades that we hear of this village that we're going to sounds incredible, and we cannot wait to show you. But I need to get ready. Let's go. Roma Gypsy village.
So Vlad, what can we really expect today from this Roma village? I'm a bit, I don't know, not apprehensive, but like you say, the stigma around it, there's the discrimination, they're sort of stereotyped, so...
I think there's a lot of people, you know, they're misunderstood lots of times, and what we want to do today is just visit a Roma family in a village to show the you know, the ways of life, yeah, and to separate the myths and the facts and so on.
And what village are we going to?
So we are going in a village close to Mediaș, here in the village of coppersmiths. So we'll see their crafts, because traditionally they are very good craftsmen. But unfortunately, the segregation between cities and towns, especially after fall of communism, really made them clash with other people. So we just want to see their side of the story too, and find out more details there.
So the town we're actually in right now, Mediaș, actually has a higher population of the Roma communities, because there's a lot of villages around from where we are. Are you I don't know. I don't know if I'm apprehensive.
I don't know what the right word is. I would probably say I'm anxious, because I want to make sure that we can portray it in the best way.
The best way. I don't want to. I want to be middle ground. So really, it really is 50-50 with the different villages you go. Whether you're going to get a working village or more like some of the villages, the money comes from them begging in other countries and just sending it home to get other money. Whether it's robbery, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to explain. You get good and bad of all. It's actually not too far at all from the Mediaș town centre to the Roma village that we are going to today. How far roughly do you think it is?
We're 3 miles away.
So it's 3 miles from the town centre, but you'll get like a range of different villages in and around this local area, but our particular one's about 3 miles.
1 kilometer.
So we've stopped off quickly on our way to the Roma community, because if we're going there and we're going to someone's house, we're going to someone's village, we need to bring them a gift, and you know the best gift to get them is alcohol. So we are quickly stopping off in a quick shop. We're going to find them a nice bottle of something so they can open up their hearts to us.
Thank you.
Job done. We've got some surreal brandy. Hopefully they like it. It's 7 stars. It's apparently good. It's from Bucharest, so they won't normally be able to get their hands on a brandy like this in the Roma villages.
This is for you for you for having us. Thank you.
We have made it to the town or community, I suppose you could say, of Brateu. That is my pronunciation, and then wow, it's just a massive
Huge
contrast.
community,
Huge
isn't it?
community,
The way they
and
dress, it's all different.
Mountainous as well, isn't it? It's like proper in the hills.
It's really nice. But before we explore the village, we're actually going to go and visit.
What an amazing experience!
Yeah.
Ladies first. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's three
Lisa's
families
house, yeah?
that live here.
And then Emil's house over here on the left side, and the other family too. So there's like three generations.
Ah, so there's three different types of
Yeah,
family living.
house for every family.
Grandparents,
Parents.
and, grandparents and their
Two
kids.
different families from the
His
grandparents.
father and his uncle.
Yeah.
It's beautiful,
Oh,
right?
nice. Yeah,
How nice
it's
that
so
they-
nice. Very
Because when they
big.
Yeah.
came in, they said, "Big. What is this big building?"
It's beautiful.
Because I call him Little Emil, like Emiluț, because his father is Emil and I call him Emil. But you need to know how to which Emil.
Which Emil?
When you say Emil, everybody's like.
Everyone's looking.
Emil, toată lumea, nu?
In gypsy language, Emil means himi.
Hello, Matt.
Lemat
Hello.
și Molly.
De fapt, dacă strângi Emil,
Da.
nu știe. Poți să tot strângi Emily.
So in their language, Emil it's a different name, so it's Himi, and they say that if you call Emil like the regular name, they would know which one it is. But if you call them by that name, like Himi or Himuț or a different variation, then they'll know.
So we're going through the house into their workshop here because they've kept up their traditions from hundreds of years ago.
You always have the workshop in the garden. They're actually coppersmiths, so everything is to do with copper. You might see behind me there's like copper pots and pans, but everything is made here. It's just so cool. Everything's kept in the family.
Their own little farm. They said, what would they say my name would be? Matt, Matty, Matthew. It's like
Matteo, Matties, like just you add a little thing on the end like a nickname.
Thank you very much. Molly, off to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So we're basically going to take a seat so they can show us a demonstration of how they make their copper and how they earn their trade, how they earn money. This is another tradition of the Roma people. They make their guests feel at home, so they bring the chairs out for us just so we can sit down, have a chat, and we already feel like we're part of the family. Matti, Matteo, Matthew. I've got my name.
Hi, Molly. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Matt. Nice to meet you.
They're healthy and they have a healthy life.
Good.
She said that the Romanian brandy really helped out.
Yeah.
That now she has a better immune system.
So they're not worried about COVID at all here?
Well, they're not worried here in their community because they said that they have like a good cuisine, like they eat well and they eat off the land. So you know.
So they're actually just showing us how they make things with the copper. They'll use like a tire to shape it out and then hammer it. As you can see them doing behind. This is what I mean about the stereotype. These people are hard working. They actually sell a lot of their copper to Western Europe, to bars in Western Europe, things like that. So they're doing very well, probably better than most people, but then still live and continue these traditions. Like, look, just sitting here, the farm, rooster, right there. They live off the land, and it's what they're saying. They say COVID, it's not going to get them. Okay, so I'm really becoming part of the family now. I'm having a go. So I just tap gently.
Don't mess it up, you go.
So where do I follow?
Yeah, so what he's saying, you need to follow the center, not move to the side. And you have to harder.
I think I'm going to leave it to the expert though. I don't want to mess up their work.
How did you think?
I wasn't great, was I? I think I'll get kicked out the village.
It's actually really interesting. They are, essentially you could say from the very young age, they're sort of given the tools that are needed to make this sort of craft. So I was just curious as to whether, because there's so many different crafts you can be. You can be a goldsmith, you can be a spoon, did you say a spoon builder?
Yeah.
So all sorts of crafts that you can be. So I was curious as to whether they would want to change it at all. And actually because from a very young age, your father, your grandfather, from the age of 2 you would be holding the hammer, especially in this sort of trade. So it's actually really interesting, and they just probably would be super skilled at this from God knows, and I can't even feed myself.
Just past the workshop is basically their own little allotment, and they grow everything here. So everything they eat, they don't do trips to the supermarket. You've got all the vegetables you need here. You've obviously got the chickens for the eggs, and I presume they even get their meat from this community. Then you come to the front, and look, this is the palenka. maker, and then some of their work here. So people might be driving along and you can just grab things on the side of the road.
It's so cool, and such intricate work as well.
And like I said again, completely different to the narrative that seems to be pushed. You come to a community like this and it's almost completely different.
Yeah, I mean they have an actual trade that has been passed down for generations, and they said they can trace back their family history like 500 years. Oh,
you made this one?
Yeah.
Wow, can I...
It's so pretty.
So impressive. And people can come by, drive, they can stop, and they can buy from you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ask about their clothing, and like why they wear traditional clothing like that, or where it originated from, what the reason is.
So it's actually really interesting. It's a symbol of marriage. So before getting married, all the girls, they are not supposed to wear, they're not required to wear it. But once it's actually the men, when they get married, it's the one that puts the scarf on top of her head, and it's a symbol of them being tied forever. So it's like the responsibility, like you're mine forever now. And they considered that if she takes off her scarf in public, obviously, it's sin.
It's sin. Okay. And they'll still do arranged marriages nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's still arranged.
Do arranged.
Is it throughout like the family friends, or is there a certain age that they have to be married by?
He said that it's the parents and the grandparents that choose the other families, and they know if they're from a good family, and they always take care to choose a person that's, you know, hardworking. They're not drinking, they're not violent, not aggressive. So from a good family.
So just explain how this family here, their daughter actually was married off at the age of 11, which of course to the rest of the world is crazy, but to them it's a normal thing. They was married off to next door, and they're actually married as soon as they have their first period, which is of course shocking, but to them it is completely normal. And they're just talking about how they've been persecuted throughout the years. Actually during World War II, the Germans came in and took a load of them to Transnistria, and a lot of them were just left to die, and then they returned, or some of them came back to Romania and came to this area, and that's how the village here started out. So it's not that old at all. The example that it does work, Molly, is these two here. So they met at school, but they had their arranged marriage at 14. Can you imagine that though? It's a different world is what I was saying.
It is a different world, but I mean this is proof that at 14 it does work. It does work, and they're clearly very, very happy.
So welcoming.
They're just so lovely as well.
So kind. Like, any of your questions, happy to answer. They said like the men, they also meant to wear long trousers. I was like, oh, you won't like me in my tiny shorts.
No, but
they're like, it doesn't matter.
T-shirts either.
They said you accept our tradition, we accept your tradition, but they're now taking us inside.
Yeah, I know.
Taking us inside the house. It's so different to what I was expecting. It really is. Oh my god.
The ceilings are so high.
Oh, look at that bed.
Wow. Your house is beautiful. It's beautiful.
This is Pamela, the cutest. How old are they?
2 months.
2 months old, so 8 weeks. Oh, you're so cute.
And they're so hospitable. They put food out for us, sitting us down, getting us a drink.
And they're puppies.
Oh my god. Thank you. No.
Thank
So you need to learn it to say it.
What's this? Kaskalu?
No,
Kaskalu.
like you know,
Palenka has come out. Apparently it's very it's strong.
63 iron.
No. It's very strong.
It's 19%.
Yeah, what's we said? 90. No, it's not.
87.
He said he did it for the pandemic because
It kills corona, right? It kills in one. Wow. Strong heart.
you gotta prove your worth.
I don't know if I can. It's so strong. It's so strong. He's done it in one.
Yeah.
You can't be humiliated.
3, 2, 1, go! Go! Oh!
I'm not
Romanian men. It's
not bad. Now that you get a sip, it's great. What are you doing?
Oh, no.
Drink it?
it's so strong.
Oh, look, now you've got to. Go.
Too strong.
No.
I'm now being dressed because I love the skirt so much. They're
It's so
handmade.
pretty.
How do you? Let me take this off. How do you put it on? You go like.
From palenka to dressing.
Palenka to-
You're going to move in, Molly.
They're
They
so
look
pretty.
Right?
You do have to have something underneath, obviously, but look. So you have double skirts on. You have one underneath, and you have your little pockets.
Looks nice.
But they're all handmade. They have like this gorgeous lace and gold around it. It's quite heavy though, like on your waistband. I definitely couldn't have too much food on there. They would definitely pop off. Thank you.
We're now, what's this that they're putting on?
What's the name of this? Ie. My arms got stuck. Should I come down? Is that easier?
Yes, me
That is for wedding.
This is a wedding.
Who's marrying me?
Well, we hope
Cred că
now.
ăsta a fost a ei.
We never know, we might leave you here.
Oh, I like. It looks nice, right?
The sick for
Really nice.
Yeah.
Let's get some photos.
Okay.
Molly, let's have a look. Go back there and do a twirl. I want to see the full thing. Yeah,
Want me to do a full twirl?
I want to go back there and just
Okay.
see what you like. Oh my god. Wow!
I like it.
My head is a little bit big, but Molly looks wow.
I like it.
It looks so good, right? I think I'm going to just hold the hat because my head is massive.
He's got a very big head.
I have a big fat head, unfortunately.
Oh, now we're dancing.
What is going on? I do not know what is going on now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Mulțumesc. Thank you so much. Next time you come to my house and you meet my family.
I think.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
It is the next day now, and obviously we were exhausted from the most amazing day spending it with the Roma family. They made us feel so welcome. They were so hospitable, dancing, drinking palinka. Like, what an amazing experience, offering us food and drinks in their home. It was extraordinary and so surreal. We've learnt so much from them as a family and a community, and their traditions such as leaving school early or getting married at such a young age. Obviously it is so different to what we would know, and I think that is the beauty of travel, because you get to see and learn about all these amazing people and their traditions around the world. They do know the perception that people have of them, and I really do think they're doing massive things to change that. Obviously you can't change it for everyone, as with everyone, you know, there's always going to be a stereotype out there about somebody, but they are just amazing. It was unbelievable to hear their side of the story. That was the end of the craziest day ever. I'm honestly, like I said, exhausted from all of that dancing. We are on an 8-day road trip with our friends Vlad and Georgiana from Romanian Thrills, and it has been spectacular so far. I don't even think I have any more words for it. There's so much more to come, so make sure you follow us along on that journey.